I'm not going to even attempt to do Kate's high note.
Tell me why. Thought that I was doing fine with you right by my side.
Hello. You are currently listening to one of my original songs that features on my debut album, Echo. Here it is. This is the second song, as you can see from the back cover, and there are 9 original tracks on this. This is my debut album that I've been talking about for the past few years that we've been working towards. You've heard songs like Voice of My Own or Moment With You, or if you haven't, they're out on Spotify already. But otherwise, you can purchase my debut album, Echo, over on Bandcamp, over on my merch site. It'll be out on streaming platforms on May the 30th, but if you do enjoy my music, please do support. I can even sign it for you if that's something you want. Go and check it out on Bandcamp and see. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer, but you can call me Jen. I'm a singer and a voice teacher, and today I'm really excited. We are back with Voctave, who has released a Broadway album, grammar? Basically, in September 2024, Voctave released a Broadway album. It is called The Corner of Broadway and Main Street. I had to have it here because it was a bit of a long title. But this is their version of Santa Fe. They recently released the official music video. I haven't heard this version, and I have wanted to, but I'm so happy there's a music video out because Santa Fe is incredible. Has anyone seen Newsies the musical? I had the absolute pleasure of watching it a few years ago. I can't remember where it was. It was such a great performance. It was so good. Anyway, this song, Jeremy Jordan made famous, probably. I don't know. He was great. This is, of course, a reaction and an analysis video, so I will be stopping and talking about the vocals. It's Voctave. There are many stunning vocals, so we're going to have a wild, great time. If you like what I do over here, then do go and check me out over on Patreon. There is a lot more going on over there as well. Otherwise, do hit that subscribe button and the bell button, and let's get to Santa Fe by Voctave.
So that's what they call a family. Mother, daughter, father, son. Guess that everything you heard about is true. So you ain't got any family. Well, who said you needed one? Ain't you glad nobody's waiting up for you?
I love that drop down. Oh my gosh. Obviously, we saw EJ in the thumbnail, and I'm so happy that we're hearing his beautiful vocals as the lead because we know what's going to come. Do we know? I know. So I'm excited for that. But just here, the setup is beautiful. The control, such clarity in the diction. Storytelling at the beginning, we need to hear, it's not overly done, but it's beautifully connected. We're getting really great vocal fold closure, so we're not sending too much breath through the vocals. We're just hearing everything. Even when he comes down in the lower part of his register, it's really lovely and just connected. It almost feels like we're listening to like a string part. It's so beautiful. Let's talk about the wonderful Voctave accompaniment, the voices. They're singing on a like loo 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 with an L, which is really interesting. Of common backings, oo vowels, yes, but like maybe do, D's, what do we say, moo? I don't know, like M's, D's, B's, L. It just seems really, really interesting, like of a letter to kind of start on, because obviously we're using the tongue. And what's happening sometimes, we hear it at the beginning, they start with this oo vowel and they open up to an a as we're getting louder and ascending, but then we return back to this oo, because sometimes when the ending of the phrases with EJ ends with an oo vowel, that blend is so magical because it all feels like together. Oh.
So that's what they call a family. Mother, daughter, father, son.
Father.
Guess that everything you heard about is true. So
like it's got such like attack to it, even though it's like on an L. It's really interesting. The vibrato on EJ as well, really classical feel. We can hear that like musical theatre-esque Broadway feel there. fitting to the title of the album, so that's great. Tik, even though we know the song's a musical song anyway, but just having that vibrato in there is beautiful.
Guess that everything you
Really spoken led.
is true. So you ain't got any family. Well, who said you needed one? Ain't you glad nobody's waiting up for you?
Oh.
When I dream on my own, I'm alone, but I ain't lonely. For a dreamer, night's the only time of day.
For a dreamer, night's the only time of day. I don't think I've heard these lyrics properly. Like, I know this song, but it's not been a song that I maybe have learnt personally because it's a male-led song. So I haven't ever learnt it really. Taken a really deep dive into the lyrics, but that's just beautiful. Yeah, stunning. And I love how we've gone really soft with the lead. Here we are playing a little bit with breath. So again, it invites us in, but it's just a little bit setting us up. We don't want to give too much too soon. Beautifully on these ooh vowels still in the backing.
I'm alone, but I ain't lonely. For a dreamer,
that breath in there.
Night's the only time of day. When the city's finally sleeping and my thoughts begin to stray, and I'm on the train that's bound for Santa Fe.
Oh, before we go and hear this, I've got chills. They're multiplying. Sorry, I just had to say why. No, we're not going to go to Greece after we're hearing this beautiful Voctave. Anyway, so we hear the opening of the vowels from the rest of Voctave. We've been on ooh consistently. Just at the beginning, there's a slight ah kind of placement. Otherwise, oohs throughout. And just on oohs, no lyrics until this moment as well. So they start swelling with ah as we're ascending as well. So we're kind of growing in anticipation. I can never say that word, anticipation. Anticipation, like we're growing, we're like, where is this going? Swell, swell, swell. Then they go on to the important line. It's like what was something about going to Santa Fe, which is the title of the song. That's when we first hear the lyrics from everyone else, and it's so powerful because it's setting us up. This is what this song is about.
And my thoughts begin to stray, and I'm on the train that's bound for Santa Fe.
Oh, pause.
It's a feeling time can never take away. All I need to
let's look at this tongue position. Sorry. Way, like take away. We could have dropped a little bit, but the fact that he's not too dropped and it's a little bit spread, we're getting a little quite. That's helping with the brightness of the overall sound. There's quite a bit of twang there as well, so we don't need to push because this is the first. Sometimes when we are wanting to hit a louder, higher belt sound, we might feel like we have to push. And we really don't have to. What we want to do is encourage the twang resonators to help us with that volume. So instead of thinking, oh gosh, it's a big sound coming, and reaching up with the thicker folds, we just allow the twang to be present. And what this is the tightening of the aryepiglottis sphincter, or the AES. And this lies just above the vocal folds. Or what we're seeing here as well is a bit more of a spread vowel. And we're getting into this instead of way, which I know is a little bit more truer to how I would say the vowel anyway. But this is just him using his vowel setting to his advantage then. Also, I know that note wasn't that high. The notes before were obviously a little bit higher, but that's the kind of setting tone that we're in for this section of the song. So beautifully controlled.
And I'm free like the wind, like I'm gonna live forever. It's a feeling time can never take away. All I need's a few more dollars, and I'm not here to stay. Dreams come true. Yes, they do.
I love how that picks up there going into this next section. Again, some moments we do have a bit more of a drop and we do have a bit more of a lean forward. It really just depends on what we've just sung, where we are in the song. So it's just great that EJ is so connected to his voice, obviously, as we can see that we can just pick and choose what we want to do, where and when. I also really love the different phrases. Not every phrase is sung the same, which keeps it interesting for the singer, but also us as listeners. We're listening to the story rather than thinking, oh, beautiful singing. It is beautiful singing, and we can be thinking that as well. But we are so in tune with the storytelling as well, because sometimes he's holding on to the last word, other times he's cutting it off, like the wind, and then he was off, which just keeps us kind of like, cool, let's keep going.
Stay, dreams come true. Yes, they do.
And that speech-like quality there. Straight tone vibrato.
Where does it say you gotta live and die here? Where does it say a guy can't catch a break?
So that was a great example. Break, like we just come off. So that's why it's a really nice balance of like, now I am singing da 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 da, like, and then that wasn't the last note, but it just stops right there. It's just really nice playing with that, like really linking to what the words are saying rather than I just want to sound good. He does sound good, but you know what I mean.
Where does it say a guy can't catch a break?
And I love how they stop as well.
Why should you only take what you're given? Why should you spend your whole life living trapped where there ain't no future? Even at 17, breaking your back for someone else's sake.
Oh my gosh, I love how visually we change. We have that zoom and now we're much closer and it's much more snappier transitions, because notice how we're not... Before it was very legato, loo, loo, do, do, do. Now we swap to a duh palette attack as well, which is much more harsh than what the L's are, which makes the L's, it makes sense that we were on that before because it's much more flowy, loo, loo, like we can keep that sound going, do, do, do. Now it feels very plucky, very staccato led. We're growing in like tense. It's just so good. That note that he did on your whole life, it was so effortless. The way EJ goes through the transition areas, so the first passage is just so smooth that it can be easily missed. But when he jumps to that whole, I think it's up there, it's just so relaxed and still really connected because he's got that support that he needs.
Why should you only take what you're given? Why should you spend your whole life living trapped where there ain't no future? Even at 17, breaking your back for someone else's sake. If the life don't seem to suit you, how about a change of scene? Far from the lousy headlines and the deadlines in between.
Oh, wait, but sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh, I need to hear this build again. I love how EJ is just holding on to this note and we hear the changing in the backing with the rest of Voctave. Really beautiful. I just wanted to talk about the vowel placement that we're hearing. There's quite a few E vowels in this. So if you are struggling a little bit with E vowels, when you're in this part of your range, in this lovely mixed belt, especially when we're holding on to this note, it's not like a high belt, but it is a belt and we need to make sure we've got space. Change that E vowel because E's are quite spread and then the tongue's high and it favors like it's quite small in there. Drop it a bit more to an I, which is what we're hearing here. And we're still hearing between, we're still hearing that word, but we're just creating, you can see there's quite a lot of space in EJ's mouth. We're just creating that space and it's just, we're not feeling as tense as maybe we would be if we're spreading. So play around with that if you are wanting to sing this song, which I suggest you do because it's a wonderful song.
How about a change of scene?
So he does it here already. Straight on that vibrato.
If I found you, would you let me come and stay?
Oh, that was so lovely. I'm not going to even attempt to do Kate's high note. Did you see? I was thinking about it, but I'm not. But I love how when we were up high, and we've got to make sure that we've got that connection in there. It's a beautiful head voice, but it's got that twang to soar that volume out. So it's a really head dominant mix. That's where she is, because it's got a little bit of that oomph and depth in there. But she's on this vowel, and as she descends, she gets really narrow and long to control that descent. It's not just like staying on this vowel and then we might feel a little bit bumpy or unstable. She's just really smoothly narrowing that sound.
Would you let me come and stay? I ain't getting any younger.
Oh, that stop.
And before my dying day, I want space, not just stare. Let them laugh in my face, I don't care. Save a place, I'll be there.
Oh God, I'm not ready. These are some thick chest belts that we're getting. A belt has to be chest dominant. Just a little reminder that a belt isn't an area of our voice. It is a style. We are now belting. It's not like we've got, if we talk about registers in terms of chest voice and head voice, which are thick fold and thin fold, a belt needs to be more chest dominant. So we need to have the qualities of a chest voice in that belt. It needs to be spoken led. It needs to be the essence of a thick fold. As we are ascending, getting higher, the vocal folds naturally want to start thinning out. That's how we get higher in pitch. They want to stretch out and thin out. So how do we maintain a thick sound up there when the voice naturally wants to thin out? Hello, mix quality. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Yes, we introduced the mix. And remember, the mix doesn't always have to be 50-50. Like I just said, if we are belting, we need it to be more chest dominant. So we need to stretch up those muscles a little bit, but have that support of the thin quality, of the head voice quality, so that we're not just reaching. We've got that support coming from above. So it's a nice balancing act. And he smashes this, but they're so lovely and open. They're so controlled. And what he's also doing is going straight on that vibrato. So we're straight away getting that trill. I love that it's written there.
I'll be there.
Lovely diminuendo there as well. Oh gosh.
So that's what they call a family. Ain't you glad you ain't that way?
Those onsets are so smooth.
Ain't you glad you got a dream called self?
The man with the longest note in the world. Again. What was that Disney medley that we were just like, oh my gosh. He's so good. He prepares that so well. We can kind of see it in his body. The body has to be supported when we're holding onto this long note. We need to have great breath control, obviously, and we are showing this throughout. I love how what's also really great is that we do get that diminuendo just before this final section. So it draws us in again. So when we go on to this, again, really chest dominant belt, really thick fold belt, actually. Let's just check the note. Oh, it's a B4. So yeah, we are way past the first passage and we're getting, it's a really chest dominant sound. I also want us just to listen out for the rest of Voctave, how the rhythm of the ascending is very different to the rhythm of the lead by EJ. Da 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 da. They're hitting all the kind of build, whereas we get a really free lead line, which again goes well with the story. It's telling us a story, but it's also he's just pacing that himself, and it's a beautiful contrast, but goes really well together.
Family, ain't you glad you ain't that way? Ain't you glad you got a dream called self?
Wow. And there's like no crackle or anything. And what I mean by that, sometimes like towards the end of this long note, maybe the you know, how we are creating this sound is with breath, is with contact with the vocal folds. So maybe one of these two factors, maybe running out of breath, so the vocal folds are like working too hard, or we're hearing too much breath kind of crackle at the end because the connection, the strength of the vocal folds aren't making enough contact. Sometimes that's what causes a little bit of crackle at the end of long notes. We're not hearing that. We've got such control. We actually stay on this open part of the diphthong at the end because Santa Fe, right? I'm doing it the octave below. Fe, and then at the end, and I also did it way shorter, we get that A, that closure, that diphthong right at the very end. So through that, we're not changing anything. We are just holding on to. We're also straight tone. We invite the vibrato towards the end. And actually something that he does onto the Fe part of the word is a da-da, is a slight step up to that note, which he nails it, because sometimes we can bring too much heaviness if we do that, but he doesn't. It's just so beautiful. And I love the rest of Voctave have that break, and then they glottally attack that like the last time they come on with those harmonies. It's so beautiful. He's just so good. I mean, it makes sense for EJ to do this because of this long note at the end. Not saying that anyone else couldn't do it, but it's just because we've heard him do something similar before. So it's just nice matching it with this. Beautiful storytelling. I'm going to watch that last part. Does he breathe between then as well? Like just highlighting it for him in that moment is beautiful. Hey. Oh. Holding on to that eye contact as well. There's such emotion in his delivery as well, just listening there as well, but throughout. And we know that when we include that cry quality in the voice, we are also including more resistance in the vocal folds. So it just helps with this overall piece. We are keeping connected. We are connecting the delivery, the storytelling all together and making sure that we've got great, efficient breath use throughout the song. So we're just, it's just perfect. Beautiful. It's always so wonderful breaking down a Voctave performance because there's just so many subtle things that complete the whole thing. And there's a lot of members in here in this. I mean, how many in total? I think there's something like 10 or 11 members in total. So, you know, they have the count of the voices to fill that space. And it's just lovely that we get to see everyone. We get to hear all the qualities as well. But there's so much going on that is there to fill out that space to feel complete. And maybe we miss it because there's so much going on. Perfect lead as well for this as well, you know. Amazing. Thank you so much for watching this reaction and analysis video. Please do go and check me out over on Patreon. I post a lot of things on over there as well, depending what tier you're in. You can join for monthly chats, blooper videos, me working through a song, updates. There's also a discount code for my merch selling. And do go and check out my debut album, Echo, over on my merch site or Bandcamp, where you can pick up a vinyl record and I will walk along to the post office and send it to you. It's really fun, actually. If you have purchased the album, let me know what your favourite song is. I'd love to hear from you and see what you think. And remember, it comes out to streaming platforms on the 30th of May. Go and pre-save it, why not? Thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching to the end. Do hit that subscribe button, the bell button and thumbs up button. And I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye!